Hi everybody. Today we're going to see how I draw Steve Ahoy from Stranger Things Season 3. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpie. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out, look in the description and you'll see a link you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. It'll give you one for color as well. So let's get started for those of you that are going to stick around. I'm going to start off with this quick sketch. Sorry, I'm going to start out with a quick sketch for myself, and then we will join the skippers. Get it? Skippers. That's actually funny since we're drawing, Scoops Ahoy Steve, like a pirate, you know what I'm trying to say. Because they're skipping and skippers, and why am I explaining this to you? Because I want to. Anyway, look, we're going to have some fun. We're going to sketch, and then we're going to draw. All right. So I'm going to kind of have him in a funny pose, kind of I think I want him like showing off, so to speak. So he is gonna be standing there with his hat kind of twirling on his finger. So let's see, I just got to get the stick figure down real quick, and then we can flesh it out, so to speak. And so that also means we're going to kind of play around with a couple different hands, different than we normally done. So it's going to be an experiment. We'll see what happens. Let's see. So right now I'm just kind of playing around with the look and see if I can get it to look the way I want. Yeah, because that's really what sketching is all about, right? Just drawing until we're happy, and just drawing over and over and over again until we're happy with where the pose is taking us. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you got to start over. But again, that's what drawing is about, or sketching is about, because you don't know where it's going to take you. Okay. And that's okay. If it's, I've done these and there's been times where I'm like, ooh, we've taken way too long on this. We gotta get going, or, it's that's just the nature of the game. Sometimes they are long to take, sometimes, or to draw. Sometimes they go fast. Like now, I'm trying to get his little Adidas shoes down, but I don't have a picture of him. I just realized that. Like, the picture I'm looking at is just him walking, and I don't have a picture of his Adidas. Okay, well, let's see if we can make it work. Okay, so let's see. Let me try to find some good pictures to make sure I'm getting everything right. And I'm gonna do Robin as well. I mean, you have to, right? You gotta draw the team. So I'm trying to think of what to do, like to play around with it, to give them both their due, so to speak. Okay. Is it 3 stripes, right? Something like that. Yeah, I like that. I can live with that. Okay, that's good for the body. I'm pretty good with that. You know what? Let me just flesh some of this out. just to make sure. Ooh, his name tag. Can't forget his name tag. And let's see. Okay, so now I need to. I'm good with the costume. I need to flesh out the body. Okay, so like the style I was talking about. So I'm gonna draw his arm like this real fast. Draw his forearm, and this is the tricky part. Well, the whole thing is the tricky part, but what I'm trying to say is this is tricky because I can't turn my paper. You know how normally when you draw, you turn your paper and you do that, you turn it, you do. I can't. It's taped down. So I'm having to learn how to do all of this by not moving. Okay, so let's see what we can do for this hand here. And you know what? Look at your own hand. Like, don't be afraid to use yourself as a model. I mean, try not to draw it looking like you. It's good to always use a real model, but you're your best model. You've got yourself to look at over and over again. So you can look in the mirror and do what you got to do. Okay, so I think if I do like this, let's see, fill this finger up like that, this finger like this, and I can draw. Yeah, that's not too bad. I think we can get away with that. I'm going to thicken these lines up just a little bit just to see if I like where I'm going with it. Yeah, I do. And what I'm going to do here is draw his hat. And so his little hat, we got to show off his hair, right? Old Steve with his fabulous hair. We got to show that, but I want to draw the hat that he's wearing, you know? So I'm going to have it kind of like he's twirling it. And let's see, I might do the lettering. I may just do that with coloring, just because it's got a certain look to it. Let's see if I can pull it off. We'll see. Okay, I'm happy with that arm. Just bear with me to do this other one real quick. And so this one's going to be coming down here. And what's funny is I'm finally taking a break from drawing so many Fortnite characters. There's just so much. I didn't intend to make this channel nothing but Fortnite, but there's just so many. It's just overwhelming, and sometimes it just takes the day, you know. So I'm trying to branch out and do, you know, more stuff. But what's funny is I'm so used to drawing armor and all that other stuff that it's kind of like, oh, I'm not used to drawing people anymore, you know. I've kind of jinxed myself, you know. Let's see. And so this one will be a little different too. So again, we're gonna have a little fun with drawing something we normally don't do. Or you know what, if this is your first time here, congratulations, you came on a good day when we're drawing something different. So you get to experience for you, this is what we do all the time, you know. Okay, that hand is a little big, so I'm gonna see if I can bring it down just a little bit. It's good. I love where I went with it, but it's just a little too big. So I'm going to try to reduce it just a little. Okay, I think that'll work. That's good. Okay, so now I just got to try to figure out how to draw his face. Something good to represent old big hair Steve, right? Okay. And again, like I always say with the other Fortnite characters, is I'm not looking at him in this pose. So I'm having to make up how he looks. And I just gotta cross my fingers that this works out. I'm gonna have to erase some of this too. So as much as my pencil lines are working, I'm gonna have to come back and erase a lot of this. Oops, that's already off. So there you go. There's some of my erasing. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, so how can we do his nose? That's the other tricky part for those of you that are here that are new is so we're using Sharpies. We're using just stuff you have around the house. But the problem is, once I get small like this, it's hard to put fine detail in because the Sharpies will bleed at this size. You know, once I start putting it all together and start drawing, you know, at this level, that's not too bad. This is not too bad. So I think I can get started with the Sharpie. Yeah, so I'm going to erase some of this just to make it light because I don't want it to stand out over the Sharpie. And this will lighten it up and I can still see what I did and it'll still look good. The trick is to try not to erase too much and leave a little bit of a ghost. Even though I make my own ghost with my special computer. Haha, that's a joke. And I think I can do that right there. Okay, I think I am ready. So, hello everybody, welcome to the Sharpie portion. Glad you could join us or jump to this section. So I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen, and mostly the Sharpie fine point, but the pen is finer than the fine point and it'll help me control the line widths a little bit better for tiny little things like the face details, facial expression, you know what? The tiny stuff. Let's leave it at that and just get going. So first thing I'm going to do is draw the top of the eyes, the eyelids, to see if I've got them at a right angle compared to the way I have the face hanging, because sometimes I have the head tilted or something. You got to make sure you got the eyes in the right position for where your drawing is. So that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to draw just a little bit of the eyelids like that. That's about, yeah, that's going to work. And what's funny is if this doesn't work, I start over because it'll be off, you know? And it's best to figure out now before you get too far into it and go, oh, you know what? I don't like it anymore. I'm going to start over. So, like I was saying in the sketch, if you weren't here for it, that some of these details are going to be too small to add onto. So, like the pupils, like I just want to put a few little dots in with this Sharpie before it starts to bleed, and then I'm walking away. Because this is going to bleed way too much on this paper, because this is normal paper, just photocopy paper and normal Sharpies. Nothing special here. The problem with that is they don't work that well together, but I'm trying to work with stuff that you can work with from your house, you know? So I'm going to keep going with what I was talking about, but being very careful with Sharpies. If you're with a pencil, great. I'm just trying to explain my Sharpie technique, okay? So I'm going to draw the rest of the eye, but I'm not going to draw the underside of the eye. I'm just going to come in and do something like that. And see, I'm kind of implying the rest of the eye with the pupil. So that shows the underside, but I'm not drawing it. That gives me a little bit of freedom to not have to draw certain things. Okay, so now I'm going to draw his eyebrows like this. And I'm kind of, that's the nice thing about guy eyebrows, is they're very rough. You know, I can get away with not making them perfect. And I'm going to draw just a little bit of a bridge of the nose, just a bit. You know, we're not going to do much. And so I'm going to come in here, draw a few nostrils like this, make sure I'm in the right position, and then I'll just draw a couple of outer edges, something like that. And see, I can't go too crazy here, but I want to. I want to add detail, but see how that's all starting to muddy together and you're getting lost? So I'm going to stop there because it's starting to get all kinds of crazy. So that's enough. Maybe we'll draw a little bit of the tip of the nose, something like that, just to kind of guide us like that. Then we're going to stop because I'm getting too muddy, and I'll let the color take care of the rest. Okay, so here I'm going to draw a bit of a mouth. I'm going to draw it like that and curve it up for a little bit of a smile. You know, he's got a little bit of an attitude, and plus what he's doing is just kind of, he's twirling his hat, so he's kind of having a good time. And I'm not going to worry about an upper lip. That's going to be done with color. I'm just going to leave it like that. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the edges of his face and draw a little bit of the hair, and then start with the big Sharpie. Okay, so his chin's going to be right here, and I'm going to start to thicken it up just a little bit because I know how thick this Sharpie is going to be, and I want to match it just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to draw the edges of his face. I'm going to come in for this chin, or his jawline, I guess, then kind of come up and just do one of these. I'm going to stop there because I'm going to start drawing the hair too. And I want to not draw all the hair. I mean, I want to draw all the hair, but I can't because I'm going to go crazy if I do. There's too much to draw, and we want to do some of that with color. So there, instead of drawing an edge, I'm starting to mess with the hairline. And so I'm just kind of going up like this, just doing a few little swabs, little whippity-doos and whippity-dees. Okay, because we know his luscious, long Farrah Fawcett hair. Or, you know, that's what he uses. This is what's going to get started there. So, I know it's not Farrah Fawcett hair, but it's the product, the thing he tells, what's that little boy's name, the other one? He tells him to put in his hair. Ooh, I already kind of messed up the ear right there, but that's okay. It's going to be covered up by hair anyway, so that's just going to be our edge of his face. Okay, and so now I'll go ahead and just do a few more lines, and then I'm going to get started with the big Sharpie just to get us going. And I think I'll do it now, and that way I'll come back with this in a little bit to add a little bit more detail, but this is going to get us going with his hairlines. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just draw like where I think his hair is going to be. See how thick this is? That's why I was trying to do a little bit of freedom with the thickness that I was working with in the small Sharpie. Okay. All right, so I think like that ought to work. Something like that, okay? So now that I've kind of defined a few fat edges, I'm going to play around a little bit with the small Sharpie and draw some fine hairs because I can. Because I've defined it, is what I'm trying to say. And I can play around now with just a few little extra whippies. Something like that. And again, just having a little bit of fun, you know. And I think we'll leave it at that. That way, see, he's got the big hair. He's got the what's the word I'm looking for? His namesake, his defining feature. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, so there, we did a little bit of hair. We didn't go too crazy, and now we can play around with the rest. Okay, so now we've got some start-stop points. So let me go back to that picture of his costume. Oops, there we go. All right, so I'm going to draw his neckline to what you can see where his shirt is. So it's going to come down here like this. Okay, and he does have an undershirt underneath. It's got some stripes on it, but we're not going to worry about those. And so now we can draw his collar like that. And again, I'm coming to where my sketch is, so I'm not just floating those lines. I planned on where this is supposed to be. So now I'm going to draw his little kerchief hankies. And what I'm going to do is, let me look at something else. It looks like the kerchief is, yeah, so it's just in a knot like this. There is a red stripe like that, but I don't want to, I want to do that with color. I don't want to do that with these. Same things with the white stripes. I'm not going to mess with those. I'm just going to give you some hard edges. So I'll give you the edges of the kerchief like this. Something like that. But those red lines that match up to it, not going to do those. Not going to happen. I'm going to do that with color. So that means we're going to draw the rest of them. So I'm going to come over here with this shirt and draw his shoulders like that. We'll do the other one over here so you know where we are. I'm going to just draw his shirt hanging down. Pretty simple actually, because that's the other nice thing about not drawing Fortnite characters is I'm just drawing clothes. So all I gotta do is pretty much do this. And I can connect it over like that. So since that's all it is, I'm gonna go ahead and draw just a few little lines for creases. Something like that. We don't have to draw much, but it'll give us something to make the clothes come alive and be more than just static clothes, you know? So let's draw his arms over here. So let's do this one over here. I'm going to draw it hanging down like this to the crook of the arm. Here's going to draw the back to the elbow like that, and then I'm going to draw the wrist to the forearm to that crook. Other part to the forearm to the elbow. Okay, so his hand, bear with me, it's something like this. Okay, so these fingers are going to be bent over, so you got to worry about the positioning of this and how the fingers are bent over. So I'm going to draw the thumb over like this, and that didn't quite work out. These bleed so much that it's supposed to be a little more thumb-like, but it came like a nub. But that's okay. We're just going to work with what we got. So I'm going to draw the back of his hand to the first finger, the pinky, and it's kind of over like that. The next one is over as well. This one is kind of up like that, and this part of the finger is sticking out like that. And so see, he's kind of doing like this. Now, the way I kind of salvage this is I just kind of draw hand marks to where his hand would be, and that kind of helps hide and fix a few of the little problems you have whenever this stuff bleeds. If you're drawing with a pencil, then you know you can make it work much better. Okay. Plus, it gives it texture. You know, that's kind of a fun thing to do. So let's draw the Ahoy hat, and I'm just going to have it, like I said, kind of over his hand, like he's flipping it around. I'm going to close that out, so now it looks like it's underneath. And we're just going to draw the flap, the bridge, I guess, like that. And there's the part that would be over his head. And let's see, can we do the Ahoy? I can try it. No, let's do it with color, because it's going to be blue. You know what? I don't want to do it with this. We're going to do that with color. So let's draw his other hand now. His other one's just sticking down, again to the crook, back of the arm to the elbow. We're going to draw the underside to his wrist. Same thing here, like that. Okay? And so this other hand's going to be almost the same thing, but it's going to be like this. Okay? So we're going to draw the back of the hand to the pinky, and this was up like this. And see how thick that is? Sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it just, it's a Sharpie, and what you do is what you do. You just own with what you got, you know? So there's this part of the hand, and so now I'm going to draw the next finger bent over like that. Next one like that. And see how thick these are coming out? Should be a little bit thinner, but that's okay. And there's the other finger. And so see how I've got it just kind of out, and this thumb is back behind, so you can't really see the entire thing. And we're gonna kind of fix a little bit of it like that. Does that make sense? There you go. And so sometimes it's a little thicker than it should be, but again, this is with Sharpies, and I'm just proud of you for working where you are so far. Okay? So now we just gotta draw his shorts. Pretty simple. And get to his costume again. Like that. And I got one leg out, and got the other one just kind of hanging out, standing, bracing him, where all of his weight is on this leg. So that's all I gotta do, just like that. The stripes we're gonna do with color. Obviously there's creases and folds, but you know, I'm not gonna worry too much about that. We're gonna just do something like this, just to show that there are some, but it's pretty much a flat material for the most part, so we don't have to worry about too much. Okay, so let's just draw his leg. We're drawing anatomy, basically, just the leg down to the knee, down to the shin, to his ankle, to where it connects to his shoe. And he's gonna have a sock on, but we don't have to worry about a bump for that. That's no big deal. So the back of the leg, to the back of the knee, to the back of the leg, to the back of the leg, I keep saying that, to the, what's that, the hamstring, I guess, to his ankle. We do that, bring the shoe down, and then we're gonna draw the front like this, to the tip, like that, and then just kind of round it over, like this. Oops, didn't quite hit the right spot. And then, like I said, he's got Adidas on, that we'll worry about that with color. We're just going to, you know, just draw a little bit of something like that. Normally, we don't have to worry about the laces and all that stuff. You don't really see a lot of that whenever you're drawing. You don't want to go that far into the detail. Okay, so let's just draw his, his sock. I almost forgot his sock. There we go. So here we're going to do the other leg. We're just going to come down again to the knee. It's bent just a little bit, so the shin's going to come down to the shoe. We'll go ahead and just draw that so we know it's our start-stop point. And the back of the leg, again, it's bent just a little bit up to there. And again, we'll do that sock just so we don't forget. And then draw his shoe. Like that. This one's at a little bit of a different angle. Like this. I'm going to draw a little bit of a tip like this. Like that. And then where the front is, we're just going to do that, basically. We're not going to worry about all that detail or the stripes. We'll do that with color. So I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Steve from Stranger Things Season 3, Scoops Ahoy. So here is my colored version. You could do it however you like. I just thought I'd show you how I decided to color it. If you'd like to color it like this, you can always pause the video here and use the coloring techniques that I used, or you can just make it your own. Remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures of how I draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button to be updated about each new video.